Hi, Lorene Hetherington here, your trusted real estate advisor specializing in Nashville, Tennessee and Franklin, Tennessee real estate. Today we're going to do a deep dive into the weeds of data, talking about what's ahead looking from the second quarter to the end of the year of 2025. We're going to talk about all kinds of things: days on market, prices, inventory, how buyers are standing as far as asking for concessions, all things that you need to know as far as trends if you are thinking about entering the Nashville, Tennessee real estate market anytime from the next 6 to 12 months. Hi again, my name is Lorene Hetherington. I specialize here in the Nashville, Tennessee area. So grateful that you joined us and are going to spend a couple of minutes with us today. You can check out all about our team going to hetheringtonteam.com. So if you're thinking about moving to the area, or if you know someone that's moving to the area, go ahead and have them reach out to me. My cell phone is 615-330-0987. Texting is always the best way to get a hold of me. And then what we'll do is just line up a time to get on the phone and talk about your needs and your wants and what you're looking for. And if then you do decide to come to Nashville, Tennessee to look at homes, we'll block out our calendar to take you inside some of these gorgeous neighborhoods to find a fantastic house. We're all about helping you buy a house, get a fresh start, and live your best life yet. Today here in Nashville, how the market is going to treat you really depends on what price point you are in. There is still so much pent-up demand for prices under $1 million, particularly $800,000 or below. It's still an absolute dogfight. I will say the buyer's opportunity really comes in the ultra uber luxury market. I would say anything above $4 million, you're definitely able to take your time as a buyer, and there's much more play in price. But it's a complete Duke Fest under $1 million here in Nashville, Tennessee. Let's get to the exact data for you. New listings, and that's a huge story, new listings are actually down 20%. And that makes sense. A lot of sellers are like, why should I jump into this market? They go on and watch the news and they get a little freaked out. So new listings are down 20%. That is not going to last forever, because I would truly believe a lot of sellers held off for years because they didn't really know what was going on with the market. And there just comes a time where they've got to just put their home up for sale. So right now listings are down. I do believe we're going to see the unthawing of that as we head into the latter part of 2025. There will be more homes available. Closings are down 11%, and our sales price here in Nashville, Tennessee is actually down 2% year over year. Again, that's not a blanket statement that covers the entire market. There are some price points we're just seeing going incredible appreciation, but overall our numbers in this ecosystem, they are down 2% year over year. Average days on market, this is a key indicator of people looking at buying and selling homes. The average time on market is 35 days. In a nutshell, that means when a seller pops their home up on the MLS until they get a firm contract, it's 35 days. Keep in mind, that is still extraordinarily strong data and speaks to just the strength of our market here in Nashville, Tennessee. There are some parts of, say, Florida and Chicago that are looking at 10 to 12 months to get a home sold. So 35 days, nothing to sneeze at here in the Nashville, Tennessee area. Another key metric you really want to zone in on if you are a buyer here in Nashville, Tennessee is called months of inventory. So we have 4.7 months of inventory on the market today here in Nashville versus 3.62 1 year ago. So that's up 30%. What does that mean? In a nutshell, it means that if no other sellers were going to enter this market, it would take us 4.7 months to get every single house sold. Well, we know that's not going to be the case. We know that more sellers are going to put their house on the market. Overall, as a buyer, that is actually a great number for you, because it means you have more time to go home and actually think about it. Or God forbid, you actually can go back to the house the next day and look at it a little bit closer with your agent. You can walk around the outside. You can spend a little bit more time in the house versus a year ago or 2 years ago. We were literally writing the offer on the hood of our car just to get it in and beat the competition. So you as a buyer can take your time in Nashville, Tennessee today. Now we want to take a look at Franklin, Tennessee. If you look at the map, Franklin, Tennessee is just south of Nashville. A lot of people who say they're moving to Nashville, Tennessee actually end up living in Franklin, Tennessee, because it's just an amazing community. It is consistently named one of the top places to live in the United States because of just the great school system, the great vibe. It's just a very small town vibe and a very community friendly ecosystem. A lot of businesses love to plant themselves themselves in Nashville, but their employees will actually live in Franklin. So let's look right now at the Franklin, Tennessee market. As far as the number of homes, new listings are down 14%. Closings are down 5%. So already we're starting to see a stronger market in Franklin, Tennessee than we are in Nashville, Tennessee. The sales price, this number blew me away. The median sales price in Franklin, Tennessee versus 1 year ago is actually up 10%. So in Nashville proper, down 2. Here in Franklin, it is actually up year over year, 10%. So if you're waiting for prices to get better in Franklin, Tennessee, I really hate to tell you this, but you probably need to just get on the bus and go buy a smaller house or whatever you can afford, because that train is literally taking off in Franklin, Tennessee. As far as timing, or that critical benchmark called days on market, or how long it takes our sellers to sell in Franklin, that actually went up just a tad. Days on market used to be 24 days last April. It is now 31. So it's taking about a month to sell. And if you study real estate at all, that is still incredibly strong data in Franklin, Tennessee. So we are almost right in the middle of the year of 2025, and we want to take a hot second and talk about the forecast for the rest of 2025. Home price forecast for this year, the NAR, or National Association of Realtors, forecasts a much more positive outlook for the end of 2025. Home prices are expected to continue to rise, but at a little bit slower pace than recent year. Again, the NAR expects prices to go up overall across the country 2%. Existing home sales are expected to go up 6% compared to 2024. Across the country, 4.3 million people are expected to buy a home this year. As far as mortgage rates, I wish I had better news for you, but if you're waiting for things to get substantially better and you're waiting for those 5s and 4% interest rates, that is not going to happen without a buy down. That means you go to your seller to ask for money to buy that rate down. A lot of the money gurus believe that our mortgage interest rates are going to remain stable and steady in that 6 range through the end of 2025. So in a nutshell, what does all this data really mean for you as a buyer or seller here in the Nashville, Tennessee area? I will say, as a person who eats, drinks, and breathes this and has been a real estate agent for 23 years, we are entering a very healthy, balanced market here in the Franklin and Nashville, Tennessee area. So no one side has all the power, which is really healthy for our ecosystem. It wasn't good when sellers had all the power 6-7 years ago, and they could put up anything and it would just be a very house that wasn't really ready, and they'd still get multiple offers. So sellers today are having to price their homes correctly, and they're going to have to be ready to go. Buyers today have a little bit more power in the fact that there's just more inventory, more houses to choose from, so they can be slightly more selective. But most importantly, they can take their time and make a very wise business decision. If you are thinking about buying a home in the Nashville, Tennessee area, our team would absolutely love to have the opportunity to earn your business. You can check out our website, hetheringtonteam.com. We have a number of agents who service this area, and we'd love, again, the opportunity to show you around and take you into some of these great neighborhoods. If you know you're coming into town for a house shopping tour, and that means you have a time frame and you have a budget, the best way to get a hold of us is to just go ahead and text me, and we'll line up a time when you're in town to take you into these great neighborhoods so you to find you the perfect house. My cell phone number is 615-330-0987. Text me anytime and I'll get back to you ASAP. Thanks for watching. We hope you have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next time.